You may think that 100%ing Punch-Out games will be easy. Well, it's actually pretty null, and I should know because that's what this video is about. There's 5 original games in total, well, 4 actually, but I am including Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. You may be wondering how, but I'll get to that later. Also, just so you know, I never got Doc Lewis's Punch-Out. Also, the Wii server shop is closed, so I'm not going to be able to get it for this marathon. It would make this challenge impossible, or I would assume so. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Before I knew it, things kicked off with Punch-Out on the NES. To 100% this, I need to beat the first 3 circuits and beat the dream fight. That's it! The first day went pretty smoothly. I fired up Punch-Out and what's this? Time rewind frame by frame? Yeah, I'm playing the first 2 games on Switch Online for convenience sake. But also because, frankly, I'm just not that good at this game, and B, it's a very hard game for those who don't know how to play it. Although Punch-Out is actually a game I grew up with, but how old am I? 13? Yeah, what's to expect? I still have a long way to go before I become a pro gamer. Overall, I see this game as aged right between bad and good. That's not exactly saying much. It's like more than Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario Bros. I think it's aged a little bit better than them, but still could have aged a lot more gracefully. Not only that, but it's pretty short. I'm not kidding. I knocked down Bald Bull pretty quick and moved on to the World Circuit just like that. Another thing I noticed is that all the characters and fighters have counterparts. I'm going to be naming them all here and now. Here we go. Blast Joe and Don Flamenco, Von Kaiser and Great Tiger, Piston Honda and Mr. Dream / Mike Tyson, Bald Bull, Mr. Sandman, and So Popinski and Super Macho Man. King Hippo not only is kind of one of the easiest ones in the game, he's also he's also the only one who doesn't have a counterpart, which is pretty crazy, because King Hippo and Mr. Sandman both share the gimmick where you need to hit the head and then the stomach several times. I recommend that if you've been playing video games for a long time, then you've probably heard of Punch-Out and enjoy playing it a little bit every once in a while. I don't recommend speedrunning it. Overall, the game's pretty difficult, so I don't recommend speedrunning it unless you're really that good and have been practicing for months, maybe even a year or 2. But I've seen that the highest speed run is about 22 minutes or a little bit lower. So if you're really dedicated completionist, I guess I would suggest for your next game to be Punch-Out on the NES. Although I wouldn't try speedrunning it myself, just completing it is fine for me. Before I knew it, I already reached So Popinski. Fun fact, this guy is my worst enemy. In all games, in every single bit of my gaming history, So Popinski is my main enemy. I burn up every time I lose to him. Thank goodness for the rewind feature, because I did not lose to him. Although, I guess I technically cheated, but basically every fighter cheats in this game. Some of them turn to their side, some of them are just big boys. Spins then punching? What? Taunting people? Is that really necessary? Did I forget to mention that King Hippo is just one big fat hippo? It's like all the guys in Mario Kart. These guys are just cheaters because they like it. Look at all this stuff that Super Macho Man is throwing at me. He's just spinning over here. I forget how long I spent in the World Circuit, but once I was done and was ready to face Mr. Dream after getting put on the newspaper, would you look at that baby. I came upon to a big bright map. It almost hurt my eyes for a minute just looking at it. There's a reason it's called the Dream Fight. Mr. Dream in the beginning throws a bunch of one-hit knockout uppercuts at the beginning, and only will you survive for a minute and 30 seconds will he just throw regular jabs. I for sure spent the most time on the World Circuit, but the way I had to win here against Mr. Dream was just time consuming. I just kept knocking him down over and over and over, and it took a while. Took a very long while. But I knocked him down like twice in the third round, and before I could even get that much damage in, the time was up. But with how much hitting and knocking down I did, I was sure to win by decision, and as I expected, I did. It took me 59 minutes and 16 seconds, and that's why I call the business close call. I was hoping to get this done in just under an hour, and I managed to do it. Goal achieved, but that's not exactly what I was worried about. I figured I'd have to, and seeing how I'd have to play it all again without such as an advantage, I was a little bit nervous. But hey, I got done in the time that I expected, so it's time to move on to the next game. So I fired up the SNES Switch Online emulator and hit the Super Punch-Out game. It's time to start Super Punch-Out, everybody. The requirements for completing Super Punch-Out is simple. Complete the first 3 circuits, and while you've completed them, make sure that you haven't lost one so that you can unlock Special Circuit, and then you can complete Special Circuit. Special Circuit is supposed to be kind of like the Dream Fight in Punch-Out, but it's a little bit different and consists of an actual set of opponents. But the music here is also pretty cool as well. I'm going to play a little bit of it for this gameplay on the screen. A quick thing to know about is that the fighters all have dialogue before the fight. Gabby J's is the same as Glass Joe's, probably because he's the beginning one and is the easiest guy. Oh yeah, and did I mention that all the guys from the original game get replaced? Well, 3 of them stay. But don't worry, all these guys still have counterparts in each other, so there's nothing or not too much to worry about here. But in this game, stunning and attacking is a little bit different. Plus, they added a duck feature that isn't just a by chance feature where you duck instead of block in the original game, you just block. Overall, this is a pretty simple game, and it's not as sadistic to speedrunners as the first game or Punch-Out Wii. I suggest if someone's thinking of trying out the franchise that they should try this version out first before literally any other version. But hey, I knocked down Piston, Hurricane, and who's the champion of the minor circuit? None other than the bubble-headed guy himself, Bold Bull. He's just one of the guys who returns in this game. The other 2 I'll reveal once I'm there. And hey, speaking of reveal, want me to say the actual reason I'm doing this marathon? Do you all remember my dad? Yeah, that guy, the cool Matrix looking guy with the word no below him? Yeah, I'm in a wager with him that if I somehow manage to get all these Punch-Out games done before Monday, then I get to do a big face reveal at the end of this very video. But hey, the 40 subscribers that know me. The Mr.L Ludwig guy with a Kirby with Ludwig von Koopa hair and Luigi's hat. This will be a breeze for him. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No! No! I'm so close! No! Let's not just jump into any conclusions quite so fast. But hey, before I knew it, I'd already taken down Bald Bull and can move on to the major circuit. The idea that I've already gotten so deep in just between 1 hour and 2 hours is pretty crazy. Not to mention, I edit all my own videos, so as I'm editing this, I'm also reviewing it. That being said, with that sort of case, I need to go back to stuff I've already done and redo them for this very video. And that's a little bit time consuming, but I have to edit this throughout the week and still get at least 2 videos done. So that's what I did. Throughout the third week of October, where Super Mario Party Jamboree came out, I just edited this video. Every once in a while would take a break to edit Legend of Zelda videos as well. And the reason for that is that I only have so few Echoes of Wisdom videos and so many Majora's Mask videos. And I'm not going to be able to record any Majora's Mask videos till I have the rest of mine posted. But hey, however I manage to get the rest of these videos out, I'm sure it'll be done by 2025. Yeah, I screwed up for a minute there. Although, let me just say, screw Dragon Chan. He's a big cheater, and, well, they're all big cheaters, but this guy kicks, and it's pretty ridiculous. Half the time I'm rewinding because I just didn't see it coming, and it's more karate than the actual fight. And he's even taunting, and I can't block him, and I can block all his punches. It's very complicated, but whatever. Screw him. Another thing worth mentioning is that in this game there's one round, and you don't even win by decision. You just automatically lose. That's it. No chance, no knockdowns. You just lose. It's all one round. In fact, time ran out and I lost to Dragon Chan. Oh well, no biggie, except huge biggie, because I didn't know at the time how to unlock Special Circuit when I was playing Super Punch-Out until not unlocking it later in the game. So after fighting Dragon Chan again and beating him this time, I moved on to the Mask Muscle. But these guys were not done with their cheating streak, because this guy spits in your eye and you can't punch him and you can barely see the audience and him. In fact, he's just gray looking, and you have to look really closely at his punches, and it's a little bit distracting. But unlike Dragon Chan, I actually got done the masked muscles. As for the next fight, well, get ready, because this won't blow your mind. It's Mr. Sandman. Yep, he's the second guy who returns in Super Punch-Out. Not much else to say. Not really much else to say about that. But hey, after my major circuit, I'm able to move on to the world circuit. And I actually managed to get done Mr. Sandman without no trouble, unlike the first game where I found myself rewinding a lot more in this. So that's what I did. I went on to the world circuit, and my first guy to fight was Aaron Ryan. He's supposed to be the counterpart of Piston Hurricane. He even has the same special as Piston Hurricane, where he just hits up and down, and you need to block them all. And then he does his uppercut, but this time he keeps going. And on top of that, he grabs you and steals your HP. I just... Okay, I don't see how that makes sense, but okay, But even with how stupid this guy is, I got through him without losing, so it's all good. And the next one I came upon is the counterpart to Dragon Chan. Hey, that rhymes. Does it rhyme? I feel like it rhymes. Comment down below whether or not it rhymes. Also, just look at this person. I can't tell if that person is male or female. I just can't tell. I'm sorry. Although, despite being near counterpart to Dragon Chan, I cleared this person without losing, unlike the actual one, if that makes a little bit of sense. And you know what's even crazier? I took down Heiki Kagero in the highest time on the leaderboard. That's pretty crazy. I made it to the next person, known as the Mad Clown. He's pretty similar to Bear Hugger. You can't attack his stomach, and when he blocks his punches, he does something back at you. I'm not talking about Bear Hugger's ear clap. No, this guy holds you and drains your health, kind of like Aaron Ryan. Plus, on top of that, his most notable move is when he throws juggling balls at you. I mean, come on, that's a little bit ridiculous. But I defeated him without losing to him either, and made it to the final guy of the world circuit, also known as the final guy who returns, Super Macho Man. But yeah, what's one to actually do? Super Macho Man still has the same clothesline spinning attack, so
Yeah, there's that. Also, this guy flexes a lot more. I kind of forgot to mention that. He's a stinker. He's just jumping back all of a sudden before he punches me. And on top of that, the chat box from the audience yells exercise programs A, B, and C, which basically means that it's going to do a set of attacks that you need to block A and B at a certain point and just dodge the ones in C. This is my least played Punch-Out game, so before the marathon began, I would fire up Super Punch-Out on this SNES emulator to play every once in a while, because, like, why not? If I'm going to be prepared, I need to be prepared for this marathon. Yeah, I fired up the special version of Super Punch-Out and went to time attacks that I could memorize most of the guy's patterns. Although one time when I was practicing, I accidentally discovered how to take down Nick Bruiser. He was the one guy that I got stuck at. So I discovered his weakness. I'll get to him later. Although back to Super Macho Man, I ended up losing to him because I ran out of time like Dragon Chan. So after fighting him again, I actually won. Which means I had the first 3 circuits out of the way. So just as I was getting ready to select the special circuit, it wasn't an option. So I looked it up and that's when I found out that I have to not lose. It was a whole situation. Remember, editing me and recording me are 2 different people at points in time. So I had to just speedrun the major and world circuit all over again. But I didn't for some reason. I thought for a moment that I needed to do the time trial versions of all the fights for every fighter as well. But I clearly didn't show that at the beginning of the Super Punch-Out requirements, so I wasted a good chunk of time. Or did I? Once I reached Piston Hurricane, I realized what a mistake I made. So after getting him done, I went back to the major circuit and actually got through it, and I even beat Dragon Chan without running out of time. And I did the same with the world circuit and beat Super Macho Man without running out of time. And then I was finally at the point of the special circuit. This is where things get a lot more stupid. The first guy you go up against is Narcissus Prince from the UK. He looks very young. In fact, his age is 20. But he's one of those spoiled, very hot guys who's obsessed with staying hot. In fact, when you attack his face, he makes himself more vulnerable to being attacked. Which means if you attack his face at the right time, you're going to be able to take him down. And he is, unironically, the easiest guy in the entire special circuit. I'm not kidding, I managed to take this guy down pretty fast. Still took me a while, all things considered, but still, he's pretty easy in hindsight. But Narcissus Prince wasn't exactly the guy who I was worrying about. Everyone, meet Hoi Quarlan, whatever his name is. I think it's Quarlan. He's an old Chinese man with a stick. And once again, it's more karate than boxing, so I guess I know who trained Dragon Chan. There I go again. That's where practicing ahead of time really helped. I barely ever played Super Punch-Out, so I was afraid I'd get stuck at one of the fighters I didn't know how to fight. I never even met the special circuit in my life up until the practicing weekend. But back to Hoi Quarlan, he uses his stick to back up his punches for extra force. It's one thing for people to use illegal punches and have karate and boxing. It's a completely different thing when they're allowing weapons to allow them into the special circuit. This is ridiculous. OMG, I did not want to have to fight this guy again. But I didn't have to, because now that I'm past Hoi Quarlan, I can move on to the Bruisers. The Bruiser twins are the 2 final guys in Super Punch-Out. Rick Bruiser is the one who's apparently the chatterbox. He's the happy one who's willing to be in a fight every once in a while, I guess. And his brother, the champion, is Nick Bruiser. They're kind of counterparted to each other, sort of. There's not really much else for me to say, so you know what I'll do? I'm going to stop talking and play both fights back to back. I don't care.
just 2 fights away. I wasn't maybe a champ, but only because I let him win. Really, I am the best. Bruiser.
Fight!
Powerhouse here. Seriously. Ooh. How in the world is this guy so good? And how can he ever I'm almost there. Ricky. Rick. I didn't think I was most in the fight against Rick. And Rick, yeah, this was Rick.
1, 2,
He looks
3,
like 35 or something.
fight! One,
Stay down.
3, hard! Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4. Fight!
Why are you spying on me? Then, too bad. No. Fine, just watch me from there and be quiet. No, not yet. That's as much as you're getting.
One, two, three, four. Fight! Fight!
The microphone is on. I said be quiet.
Knockout!
Yes!
Too close.
Nick Bruiser.
Nick Bruiser.
Here we go.
Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fight!
Fight!
Sorry, bro. Nope.
One, two, three, four, five. Fight! Knockout!
Yes! 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 I was surprised with myself at the time seeing this score at Nick Bruiser. Having defeated Nick Bruiser and winning the special circuit without losing, I 100%ed Super Punch-Out within the time of 2 hours and 4 minutes, which was definitely longer than I had anticipated. And all these fighters have dialogue for wanting to get revenge or having it be a fair fight. Even the Bruisers have dialogue. But hey, I got done 2 games in one day. But the fun wasn't over, wink wink. But the first 2 games are out of the way, which means that I'll have all of tomorrow and the next day to get them done. I needed a break from Punch-Out games for a while, so I went upstairs to have some lunch. I was feeling pretty overall good about being able to finish the marathon. So after my lunch, I fired up the Wii. Now you may be thinking I'm going to jump straight into Punch-Out Wii and save Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for last. Otherwise, I wouldn't have fired up the Wii in the first place. Wrong. So wrong. Really wrong. Embarrassingly wrong. Hoo-wee! Man, you're wrong. You see, me and my dad, when I was like 5 years old, installed this NES emulator onto the Wii, and we got like a bunch of games onto it from the NES, including Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. That's how I'm going to be playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Switch to 100%, it's the exact same conditions as the first game. Beat the first 3 circuits and beat the dream fight. I was actually happy to move to a console that I have a lot of nostalgia for. I grew up playing the Wii, and I played a lot of Wii Sports and New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Modified it and got the USB loader and Wii Flow so that we could download games to play rather than use the discs. Overall, this console is my favorite, so I don't think I'll be letting it go anytime soon. And once again, yes, I'm using an emulator to do Punch-Out because, well, you know what, let me just say, I don't have an NES. I want to get one, honest, but I just don't have one. I'm actually thinking of buying a lot of old-timey consoles like NES up to the GameCube. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. At this point, I was actually pretty bored of playing Punch-Out, so I decided after this I'd play a little bit of Splatoon. I'm getting dangerously close to 100%ing that game. All that I have left now is to take down a couple of gelatins to fill out the field guide, collect some more pearls for Cypher Siftings and Marina's hacks, and select every single floor that has a question mark on them, because there's like 113 floor variants, and I need to explore them all, because even though it's the same floor for the same game, that doesn't mean that it's not a unique floor in itself for that game. And on top of that, Splatoon is getting another Splatfest, when a lot of people thought that the Grand Festival would be the last one. It didn't really emphasize that it was the last one. Why would a bunch of people believe that it was the last one? And I was included in that gang of people who thought it was the last Splatfest. Oh man, it's so bad. But hey, the Splatterween Splatfest is over, and I assume that the final Splatfest is really going to be in December. And it's going to pit the Pop Isle stars against each other, like it did for Splatoon 1 and 2, for Marie vs. Callie and Chaos vs. Order. I really can't wait to see how this will affect Splatoon 4. I bet it's gonna have both elements from the final Splatfest and the Grand Festival. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, side Splatoon tangent, my bad. Back to Punch-Out, I managed to get through the minor and major circuits pretty quickly, but I got stuck on the return of Piston Honda, and then when I'd get past him, I'd lose to Soda Popinski. After a little while, I said screw it, and I typed in the code that I thought would bring me to Mike Tyson, but instead it brought me to the end of the world circuit. I misunderstood what the code was, so I decided, after a couple of attempts to try to make it past Super Macho Man, that I'd put off Punch-Out, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, off for a little while, and maybe come back to it on day 3 if I don't get stuck on Punch-Out Wii any longer. Sure, it was a thing, but I figured with how short this game is, I wouldn't spend too many more hours on this on day 3. So I said screw it and went to WiiFlow to fire up Punch-Out Wii. To 100% Punch-Out Wii, get ready for this long list of stuff. I need to beat the minor, the major, and world circuits, complete all the challenges for every guy in the minor, major, and world circuits, defeat everyone in Tower Defense World B, World A, and World S, do all of their challenges as well, unlock Max Last Stand, unlock Championship Mode by winning at least 10 times in Max Last Stand, and fight every guy with Championship Mode on. To mention, unlock Donkey Kong and complete all of his challenges as well, and complete him with Championship Mode. This is by far the longest Punch-Out game in the entire franchise. If you're wondering what Championship Mode is, it's where you fight the guys in Exhibition, and if you get hit once, you're down to the mat. Now, there's a chance of me not unlocking Championship Mode, so me and my dad made a minor bet off of that. If I failed to unlock championship mode, I'd have to do something for him. But on the bright side, this is actually my most played Wii game. It's not New Super Wii or Wii Sports, Mario Party 9 or 8. No, Punch-Out Wii is the game that I play the most on the Wii. In fact, I'm so good at it that when I was actually 10, I memorized all the ways to take down every guy in just a couple combinations of punches. Well, I was watching Nintendo Unity without permission. But anyway, moving on. If you're wondering what Nintendo Unity is this channel with a bunch of complications of challenges or boss rushes or just about anything Nintendo related. After a while, I finally made up my mind to subscribe to them. In fact, I was actually terrified of getting too stuck on this game, that on my secondary computer, I looked up Nintendo Unity's video on how to do every challenge for every guy, and selected it so that in case I got stuck on any fights, which I did, I'd just watch a demonstration and see how good I could copy it. But on to Punch-Out Wii itself, this game does everything better than Super Punch-Out or regular Punch-Out. Star punches have been properly recognized. There's no stupid counterparts to any of the fighters. Every fighter has a fun little move set. They all come back a little bit harder. Takes elements from both games into one. It's in a nice HD-ish graphic. And there's an actual fun mode besides time trials for flipping crying out loud. And despite this game being so long, I've pretty much figured out every tip, loophole, and every single way to get every challenge and take down every fighter. I've been playing this game for half my life at this point, and I consider it to be one of my most favorite games, or at least that's what I thought at the beginning of this marathon. I'm not too much of a truly dedicated completionist, but in situations like these where you're truly trying to go for 100%, woo-wee baby, it can be quite time consuming. But I love this game to pieces, and I hope that somehow Nintendo can bring this game back. Maybe, I don't know. But it would be really cool to see this sort of style done again on Punch-Out. Probably go over every good thing about this game, but the time is ticking. I started this game in almost the mid-afternoon. I've speedrun the regular game before. In fact, when I'm just plain speedrunning it for fun, I usually only get stuck at like Soda Popinski before I'm like not able to continue anymore and actually start losing. When I say Soda Popinski, I'm talking about Tower Defense Soda Popinski, by the way. I think the fastest I've gotten this game done in is like, I don't know, the main game non-tile defense form, just contender. I think maybe a little less than an hour. Maybe even a little less than half an hour. But what can I say? I figured out most of the weak spots of these guys. I've pretty much muscle memorized it to a T. Before I knew it, I was already at the World Circuit. And let me just say, Aaron Ryan is even more stupid in this game. He's headbutting now. But despite Aaron Ryan being even more stupid and moving around a lot more in this game, I got through him and he got tied up in the ropes. So next up was Soda Popinski. And I knew most of this guy's patterns unlike the first game, so I was able to get through him pretty quickly. Now it's time for the Champion 3. That's what I'm calling them now. I'm talking about Bald Bull, Super Macho Man, and Mr. Sandman. In that order, Super Macho Man is no longer the big world champion anymore. Now it's Mr. Sandman. Took him like 3 games to get through. Good for you, Sandman. Good for you. You may want to turn down the volumes on your TVs or iPhones or computers or headphones because I'm about to play the entire fight right here. And just so you know, I'm warning you because I focus better on Punch-Out Wii when I'm listening to the music. So, sure, the game audio was already playing on the Elgato, but on the Elgato capture software, but I couldn't hear it because there wasn't a regular Wii option on the Elgato. So, it was a whole situation. So, I switched HDMIs and kept the thing recording. So, you may want to turn down all your stuff, whatever you're watching this on, because it's about to get real noisy.
You did it, Mac. You did it. You're the best of the best. The World Circuit Champion.
And that's that for the contender form. I've taken down Mr. Sandman and every guy in the circuits. Only like 5 more playthroughs to go. Woo! Woohoo.
Bruh.
As far as I know, marathons are no stranger to Grindfest. You may be thinking that I'm over-exaggerating. Well, just ask Nathaniel Bandy. He's where I got the idea of this marathon from. He got the idea of a marathon from Yakko CMN. I don't get the idea from Yakko CMN, I got it from Nathaniel Bandy. Hi, Nathaniel Bandy, if you're watching this, I like all 7 of your marathons, and you're 8, and for your 8th, you're doing a Smash Brothers. I really think you're gonna fail at it. Bye, hi, ha. I jumped right into the title defense mode, and I decided to only do World Circuit B. B's for beginner, just so you know. But after I got done, it was getting pretty close to dinner time. I decided that the most that I could do was start grinding out the medals in exhibition. So that's what I did. Last Joe was a piece of cake, except for his last one. You have to knock him down 3 times and then let him win by decision. It's a lot harder than you think. You need to knock him down like twice in the first round, once in the second round, and then let him knock you down twice in the second round, and then have him knock you down once in the third round, and then you need to make sure that your energy meter is below his so that you can let the match finish and let him win. I actually lost by TKO by accident. I decided to come back to him tomorrow. Von Kaiser's challenges were a breeze. Disco Kid was a little bit harder, but I got through him easy sneezy. And King Hippo wasn't even that bad either. And just like that, I was alright at the major circuits challenges. Piston Honda was a little bit easy. I say a little because I needed to do him twice, but overall he's pretty easy. Bear Hugger I could do all in one go, but just be safe, I decided to do 2 fights I mean. Great Tiger was a little bit harder, but I got through him. And just like that, I'm at Don Flamenco. His challenges weren't that bad, and what the heck, we're already at Aaron Ryan's challenges? Even his challenges were easy. And before I knew it, I was already at Soda Popinski. Although, I only managed to get 2 out of 3 of his challenges. After a little while, my dad popped into the recording, and he told me to be done. It was dinner time, so yeah, I kind of agreed with him there. But day 1 seemed to be pretty successful. I can't wait for tomorrow. Well, that's what I thought at the time. The only bad thing about tomorrow is that I'm missing my cousin's football game, and little known to me was there a parade coming afterwards. It was really disappointing for me not to be able to be at my cousin's football game, but this is for a face reveal and for me not to go in the big scary ice bath. Ugh. I can just see it on the back porch, waiting, taunting me, saying I'm never gonna get Punch-Out Wii done. Heh, well that's what it thinks. Just wait till tomorrow. I'm just surprised how eventful this first day has been. Despite completing 2 games in a day and making like 40% headway into both Punch-Out and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, that's really saying something. Although then again, today was mind-numbingly boring, so I was just glad to get into my bed and get some sleep.
Hey, bruiser!
Hey,
Let's go,
Hulk.
baby. Rock the suckers.
I'm tired still. Boy, oh boy, am I ready for another fun day. I'm gonna sit in one spot, do Punch-Out fights over and over again, get useless medals for them. Wow! Grinding. Am I right? It's not like shiny hunting in Pokemon, but still, it's pretty bad when it comes to this sort of game. Especially when a good bulk of the medals require you to do the fights at least more than once. Because I mentioned before that you could do bear huggers all at once, but there's one where you need to avoid all of his bear hugs, which are like his ear claps from Super Punch-Out. And there's one where you need to get 5 different ways to get stars. Now, the basic ways to get stars in this game is by timing your punches before the other guys can punch. That's the basic way to get stars. The other way, and the other ways are just some random moments where they're doing something, or just their star taunt where they're blinking yellow, like when Bear Hugger sticks out his tongue, unlike when you punch the stomach in Super Punch-Out. But not too long after breakfast and getting started, I took down Soda Popinski so I could move on. So I grinded out the medals in the rest of the World Circuit and started doing the medals in World Circuit B. Now I can finally move on to the rest of career mode. But since I just play this game so often and pretty much figured out everything there is to figure out, my body was set to autopilot and my mind was set to deep interrogational thought, which was weird. And I have deep interrogational thoughts like, what's the true meaning of my existence, and stuff like that. I try not to go too deep into it, but mostly my interrogational thought was on the past year in 2024. I think it's safe to say that up to the point of this marathon, 2024 has been a weird year. And I don't think I'm the only one who thinks so. I've noticed that there's been a couple of other YouTubers who've seen that it's been a weird year, and there's been a couple of highlights that I can name in my personal life and just in general. Like, once I was like halfway through January, Google changed their policy, and I was just 2 months away from my birthday of turning 13, and they couldn't let it go till then. They just couldn't, and my YouTube channel got deleted. And then, about a month later, what happens? My brothers can't resist the temptation to play their video games on a day that they're not allowed to, so they do that, and Mom gets pushed over the edge into taking all her video games away. But hey, I managed to get a bunch of other recordings of games, so surely I must have found a way to work with her and Dad. Well, it was mostly Dad, but yeah. That's kind of what happened here. Plus, I'm actually thinking of opening myself up to finally getting a couple more games that I've been wanting to play. Like, for example, I think I'm gonna get Sonic Origins to finally experience the nostalgia I once experienced of playing a Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles port on the DS. But it's not just my personal life. I mean, I can also name that Nintendo has had some weird stuff going as well. Nintendo released a post that they're going to be releasing Nintendo Switch 2 within the fiscal year just to build hype again. And no, they didn't. They're not doing that. It's official. 2024 is not the year where it's going to be released. Also, it hasn't just been 2024. Nintendo has been announcing and giving us remakes that we don't want, or don't even think about wanting, like Super Mario RPG, for example, and now Donkey Kong Country Returns. I mean, what the heck, dude? I'm not sure we would have liked that. And personally, this marathon is actually changing my view of video games a little bit. Like, I'm fine with just playing video games, but when I'm under some sort of pressure or time limit to get something done, like, I had to do a re-recording of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask Part 3, and that was because it never exported. I had to work my way up, and that just felt like a chore on my other save file. And this marathon really expands that view. Playing my favorite video games, well, what's nearly my favorite video games, just feels like a chore now. And because I sink so much of my gaming history into Punch-Out, it just felt even more boring because I knew what was coming half the time. Or 70% of the time if we're getting real here. But I think I've made up my mind of how I really like to play video games, and that's when I'm not really under some sort of time limit or something. When it's not like job reducing or anything, when I'm just playing video games casually and actually trying to complete them, like 100% complete them, that really makes me feel good. Makes me feel like I've reached a goal that I've never really bothered to reach, especially when I was younger. So I guess the point in saying all this is that I feel at my best when I'm playing video games, but it also comes to the extent that I'm feeling at my best when I'm playing video games when it's not job-inducing. Now, the big question is, what does that have to do with Punch-Out Wii? Now, as far as I'm concerned, I mentioned video games, and I mentioned that this is a marathon, and Punch-Out Wii is a video game and a video game marathon, but that's literally all I got. In not too long, I managed to complete World Circuits A and S. I was thinking of playing the entire fight against Title Defense Mr. Sandman, but I decided to do my first fight against Donkey Kong instead. But since I was able to defeat Mr. Sandman, I unlocked Max Last Stand. If you don't know what Max Last Stand is, it's where you need to go through a bunch of the random order of all the other guys in Title Defense form. And if you lose 3 times, you accept retirement and you 100% the game if you've gotten everything else done. I was about to start, but I decided to hold off until I get all the other challenges done. That way I can unlock Donkey Kong and finish things up nicely. That is, if I unlock Championship Mode, I may actually get back to this tomorrow. So that's what I did. I went into World Circuit A's Exhibition Medals, and I got done Aaron Ryan's challenges. Oh yeah, and let me just say, Aaron Ryan is even more stupid. How is that even possible? He's pretty stupid in Super Punch-Out, even more stupid in the regular career mode, and now he's using a weapon. It's not as bad as Hoy Quarlon, but dude, you've got a problem. Still though, he wasn't that bad and I got through him. I selected So Popinski and saw what his challenges were. 15 punches and a stun. Let So Popinski drink as much soda as he wants. Win in round 1. Like, how in the world am I supposed to get through all that? Winning in round 1 I could probably do, but the other 2 are going to be a lot more complicated. Soda Popinski takes out infinite amount of soda bottles, and I guess that'll be a little bit helpful for my 15 stunning problem. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to precisely dodge at least 14 attacks and make sure that you punch every single one. And you need to avoid hitting the soda bottle at all so that he not only gets more health, but you can also get the medal. This was pretty ridiculous. I need to get 15 punches and a single stun. And I hate this guy, and I've barely memorized any of his patterns in Title Defense. He's so hard. I got stuck on this guy when I was 11 and didn't actually get past him until I turned 12 and like 3 months or something. Over a year was a pretty long while for me to be stuck on Title Defense So Popinski. OMG. That's how much I hate this guy. Discovering my Super Soda Rush technique was a miracle for my sanity. But the fact that I can't use it since So Popinski gets to drink as much soda as he wants, dude, you're gonna get drunk. Yep, it's official. I'm screwed. I need a break from this stuff. So I paused the game, went upstairs for lunch, and just watched Power Rangers. That was the pudding palate cleanser I needed. It wasn't Splatoon 3. No, it was Power Rangers. That's what I needed. I'm very close to finally seeing the grand finale of what the Power Rangers series ending is. Because I know that there's been many different generations of the Power Rangers, but I'm just desperate to learn them all. Hey, maybe I'll even review Power Rangers on an episode of my podcast, What's Up and What's Next. Check it out on Spotify. I'm gonna try to get it onto other services like Apple Podcasts. Anyway, side tangent, my bad. I came down after like an hour and just completed the Popinski saying virtually nothing. I mean, I sarcastically smiled when I accidentally used a Star Punch to knock a soda ball out of his hand, but other than that, it took me a little while to get through him, and I was just ready for it to be done. Except that I wasn't, because after I got him, I still had 3 more guys to go. And after that, I'm gonna have to do every single guy over again with championship mode. Will suffering ever end? This is the complete opposite of my side quest episode in Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I had a streak of good luck. Now I'm in a cauldron getting burnt by the devil. And the only reason I was getting so angry every time I'd lose was because it's just because I've spent so much time in my life with this video game. I can't believe I spent like 52 minutes just talking about day 1 because it was so eventful. All day, it felt like I was trapped in a never-ending loop of fire burning my skin. And oh man, I don't want to think about it anymore. Am I even gonna get back to Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? I mean, usually I wouldn't be under such pressure, but you see, there's a little problem with that. Yeah, you see, there's this big, scary ice bath sitting on my deck of my house, sitting there, and I'm imagining that a paper toad is running away from a bunch of scary stuff, showing that the ice bath is super duper scary, because if I don't complete this marathon, then my body is going to be going in there, and I'm going to freak out the entire time, and I don't know how long my dad is going to be putting me in there. How does Nathaniel Banty review each day in like 5 to 10 minutes? Yesterday was so eventful that I just spent like 52 minutes talking, and here I am. At a total, I've been going for like 12 minutes and about 12 seconds now. OMG. And it didn't help that I got stuck on Mr. Sandman's challenges again for the second time in a row on today of all days. And to make things worse, I have to release 2 more videos this week. Like, will my pain and suffering ever stop? I kept losing or failing at just the first challenge of Mr. Sandman, where you need to knock him down in the first 33 seconds of the first round. Like, jeez. And it didn't exactly help that the video guide on my secondary computer was showing me that I was just bad at this game. I am so done with today. But the thing is, I've spent like nearly 11 hours just playing Punch-Out Wii today. Like, why can't I just beat it and move on to Max Last Stand? But on top of that, I'm going to need to unlock championship mode. At this point, I'm getting loopy. I spent too long on Mr. Sandman, and a little while ago, Dad and the rest of my family got home. Frankie popped into the recording to offer me some candy. I yelled at him for it, but still, I was in a bad position at the time. I didn't end up finishing Mr. Sandman until, like, I can't even remember at this point. Dad checked with me because I was still stuck on Mr. Sandman, and he asked how long I would be taking on Mr. Sandman, and I told him that if I didn't get stuck on him for any longer, I could be done. But guess what? I was stuck on him for a lot longer than I thought I would be. I completed him, but guess what? I'm not done yet. OMG! I still have to unlock Donkey Kong via Max Last Stand. And on top of that, I lost twice in the first 2 matches of Max Last Stand. So that means that the crunch to unlock championship mode was really starting to feel real. Once I hit lunchtime, I'm already past halfway through the entire marathon. And once I got to Donkey Kong, it was like, I don't know, 6, it was like between 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock p.m. My third match was Donkey Kong, and just so you know, I've hardly ever defeated this guy via KO, so I was afraid that I'd end up losing this if I wasn't careful. But you know what? I said play the Donkey Kong fight. Here you go, everybody. Turn down your speakers. It's gonna get loud. I lost twice before that Donkey Kong fight, and winning that Donkey Kong fight was a lucky shot for me. You wanna know how many times I've won so far? 4 out of 10. And with 2 out of 3 losses and 4 out of 10 wins, I'm really going to be coming down to the wire on unlocking championship mode. Also, I'm sorry that there was no audio in that Donkey Kong fight. I swear, I turned off my microphone and there wasn't any game audio playing. It was a little bit of an Elgato capture flaw thing, but still. I was in a rough spot. My head was on the verge of exploding at this point. But hey, the worst was out of the way, or so I thought. I had a close call almost losing to Donkey Kong, and that's pretty crazy. I came up to Bald Bull, and I didn't beat him, which meant I didn't unlock championship mode. I didn't unlock championship mode. I was pretty not happy at what had just happened. My gaming skills just weren't up to snuff, and I choked and I lost to Bald Bull. Why did it have to be Bald Bull? At least it wasn't So Popinski. And I once again spent way too long doing the challenges for Donkey Kong. But other than that, I 100% Punch Out Wii within a time of 14 hours and 58 minutes. Well, that's that for Punch Out Wii, I guess. I just didn't have enough skills to actually be able to beat Bald Bull, and on top of that, I was just not as prepared as I thought I would be. At the time I finished up Punch Out Wii, it was like around, I don't know, 7 o'clock, so I went upstairs, told my dad the news, and that was that for the day. But it was time to see my big score on my profile. Doing every single fight, every win and every loss, I met a total of 85 wins and 14 losses, counting every exhibition fight along with my career fights. That's a pretty grand total that I never thought I'd live to see the day for. If you want to 100% Punch Out Wii, the minimum amount of losses you can get in total is 4. 1 for the Glass Joe fight, an exhibition, and the 3 losses in Max Last Stand. That's the deduction I've come down to. Alas, I did not unlock championship mode and Punch Out Wii was finished. My head was needing another palate cleanser, so I went on to Splatoon 2. Why would I choose Splatoon 2 and not Splatoon 3? Well, here's the thing. I've finally been playing Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion while the expansion pass on Switch Online is active still. This footage you see here is footage of me from my The Real Splat Wrap-Up story. Other than that, while playing Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion, I've been doing a lot of the levels and only have few left, which means I'm getting dangerously close to unlocking the Inner Agent 3 fight, which I've been yearning to finally try out ever since watching Nathaniel B's Splatoon marathon, because I'm getting very close to unlocking the Inner Agent 3 fight, and I'll finally see what the true experience of Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion is. So after doing a couple of Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion levels, I went upstairs and for some reason watched Beetlejuice. It was October as of month of recording, and boy was Beetlejuice quite the contrary of a pudding palate cleanser. That movie may have been Halloweenish, but nah, it just was the exact opposite of what Octo Expansion gave me. So I decided tomorrow, once I'm done my Tyson's Punch Out, I'll come back to Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion and cleanse out my eyes again, assuming I can get through tomorrow. You see, as of recording day 2 is a Saturday, which means the next day will be Sunday. And being Catholic, me and my family need to go to Mass. I figured with how short left I have of Mike Tyson's Punch Out, I figured that getting home late around midday would not be an issue. And Mass is actually what I think my mind will need to refresh. Lucky. Well, it's the final day. And apparently I woke up early enough to see my mom text me and my sister that we weren't going to be going to Mass today. I knew I wanted to fit my marathon around this Mass schedule, but this was not what I had in mind. I figured with just a short game left, I'd have all afternoon to complete it. I suggested that we go to the church up in the town nearby, known as Dannemora. She said that she actually prefers to go to the one in the city. She said that if I could wake up everyone in the house, then we could go to 8 o'clock Mass. So we went to Mass, had some errands to run, get some groceries, and had an early lunch for Burger King. Which means I did have all afternoon to complete Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! As usual, I was stuck on Super Macho Man because he was just spinning over here and I didn't see it coming and blah blah blah, all that stuff. I'd get defeated and I'd get ranked down to Don Flamenco and then I'd get through him and I'd need to scrap through Mr. Sandman to get back to Super Macho Man, but then I'd end up losing to him and OMG, was it a situation. I paused for a little bit, but then I realized that I could use the save and load feature on the emulator to cheese my way through Super Macho Man. Yes, I know, I'm cheesing my way through Punch-Out again using the emulator. Don't judge me, I want to get this marathon done. If Nathaniel B and Yakko CMN are able to do anything goes when it comes to their marathons, so can I. So what if I'm 13th? Same thing for me. It's anything goes at this point. So after finally scrapping through Mr. Macho Man and finally getting to Mike Tyson, I never thought I'd see the day where I got to Mike Tyson by defeating Super Macho Man. Honestly, this is kind of a dream come true for me. But as usual, I was getting destroyed by Mike Tyson because I didn't know how to get through him. But yeah, it's still the same. You need to survive for a minute and a half through all of his one-hit knockout uppercuts. I also pulled up a video guide on my secondary computer again to see if there was anything missing that I could have done, and yeah, apparently attacking the back of Mike Tyson's head does more damage. Now, it's a little bit specific. Now, when Mike Tyson uppercuts, if you attack the side where the back of his head is, that'll do more damage than rather just doing left-right, which I continuously do. Once I reached round 3, well, you'll see.
Okay, third round. I can knock him down pretty easily. Put him away. Hey, is this kid a joke? Where's the real challenger? That's how I know that Punch-Out came after Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Same dialogue, just rewritten. And just some rewritten code in some parts.
Bruh.
I can't get past it either. Two times within the same minute of the third round. I could potentially beat him not by decision, which is pretty crazy for me. You know what? Save here.
Yes! Yes! Yes, baby, yes! Yes!
Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna save this moment. Rub it in my dad's cheeky face. Oh yeah. Oh man. OMG! Nope. I went, nope. No.
I just finally fulfilled a childhood dream as a child. That's pretty crazy, which means that I 100% Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for the first time in my life in the time of 4 hours and 15 minutes. Which means counting every second I was in the marathon this weekend up to the point where he finally knocked down Mike Tyson. I got this marathon done in 68 hours and 38 minutes out of 72 hours in total. If you're wondering how many recordings through my voice I needed to do for the video, I needed to get all these recordings in the total of 40. That's right, 40 voice recordings to stick in this video, in this screenshot before your very eyes, plus all the footage of my Punch-Out marathon. You know what that means. It's time for me to finally 100% side order. Well, I didn't actually. All I did was make a little bit of headway, but because I still have like a ton of color chips to get, and I still have to fill out the gelatin field guide, and I still have a lot more variants of the floors to get through, so I'll be at this for a little while. But side order isn't the only Splatoon thing I have left on my channel. I also have how many else other... I also have all the other Splatfests that are yet to come, which I assume are going to be like 2 more. One here in November, one coming in December. I'm hoping I can at least live stream the Final Fest. And then, of course, there's New Year's Eve, which I'm once again going to be sacrificing my regular New Year's Eve traditions to be doing a special live stream. I did one 2023 into 2024, but it didn't matter because YouTube destroyed my channel for being too young. But what's going to be different about this live stream is that it's going to have my face in it. Ah, my face. That's what I've forgotten to do so far. I just need to put my face in this video and wrap up. Okay, everybody, drum roll please. What everyone expect. A 13-year-old who plays video games and my YouTube channel is a hobby. Not much else to say. For this face reveal, I actually decided to get dressed as my own character. We have the overalls, the green shirt, my Luigi hat that says Mr.L, and my Link ears. It's my whole thing. I may actually be wearing this costume a lot more with this face reveal now on my channel. But with how much the camera is fidgeting, yeah, I'm using my iPod and a special app called Media Converter. So I'm gonna, yeah. On to the review of the marathon itself. Was it worth it? I mean, kind of. Did I learn anything? I learned that editing the marathon is just as painful as doing the marathon, so yeah, there's that. And now we realize why most popular YouTubers have editors for them. I also learned that this was a waste of time and I never want to do this again. Actually, maybe I'll do it again when I'm like 18 and I'm in college and it's like summertime and I have my own apartment. And I've actually taken some vacation days off a job. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll actually do a series, a longer series. Maybe a Legend of Zelda 3D, but I doubt it. Because you need, like, most of the Legend... I'm getting off topic here. say too much. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. Gotta put it on my end screen now so that I can make a brand new outro. Yeah, I'm gonna make a brand new outro for my next video, and I hope I can see you all there. Bye.